And we kickstart the news edition with a much anticipated reaction. America has reacted officially to India signing the S-400 surface-to-air missile deal with Russia. A State Department spokesperson has told Wion that the criteria is strict for considering a waiver. But the US also urged all its partners to forego transactions with Russia that would trigger sanctions. In this context, the spokesperson cited the recent US action to sanction a Chinese government entity for an S-400 delivery, but there seems to be a distinction that the US is making between India and China here as far as sanctions go. And to bring us more details on this news story, I am joined in by principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who joins me live from New Delhi. Siddhant, a very good morning to you. How do you view this reaction? Is it not a guarded reaction coming in from the United States? And do you think it will be a blanket waiver that the spokesperson is actually hinting at or not?
Well, it's a guarded reaction by the U.S. administration. This, of course, is the first official reaction by the State Department, but second reaction by the U.S. administration, because yesterday the U.S. Embassy also immediately issued a press release on S-400 deal, and now speaking to you on the State Department has reacted. And this is a guarded reaction because the State Department has said that the waiver authority is not country-specific and there are strict criteria for considering a waiver. And interestingly, they have mentioned the Chinese sanctions. Last month only, United States of America sanctioned China for buying the same S-400 missile system, which of course put China and India both in the ambit of these sanctions. The CATSA law, which is an American law. Under this law, any country having a significant deal with the Russians can be sanctioned by the Americans.
Right.
But there is a relief measure. American president, if he considers a country an ally or a partner, he can give a waiver, and that is what the U.S. Embassy yesterday mentioned.
Right. That also brings me, interestingly, to the next question, which is why this sort of differentiation or discrimination between India and China as far as the waiver goes?
Well, of course, that discrimination primarily because we know the relationship between Beijing and Washington haven't been very good. We have seen those trade wars, and Donald Trump, it seems, doesn't like China that much. But with India, we know that there is newfound friendship which has blossomed, and we have seen the new construct, the Indo-Pacific construct, in which there basically are four countries: Australia, Japan, US, and India. But US considers India and Washington as the bookends of this construct, and that is why for India to be sanctioned by the Trump administration will be little difficult. It will, of course, test nerves here in New Delhi. And yesterday I spoke to some of the senior officials who were part of that conversation with Vladimir Putin during the delegation level talks. One of the officials, when I asked him that, don't you think that this deal somehow will antagonize the United States of America, he said that we have taken this decision on the basis of national interest. For us, the national interest is always the priority. So India making it clear when it comes to strategic autonomy, it will take decision on the basis of its national interest. But Americans, it seems, a little bit miffed off and are giving mixed signals. Yesterday, of course, the U.S. Embassy gave a statement saying that when it comes to allies and partners, they will consider things, and they will consider how important the ally is. And CATSA is not intended to impose damage on military capabilities of our allies and partners.
Siddhant, one last question that I have for you is that can the U.S. actually afford to jeopardize its relationship with two flourishing markets in Asia, which is India and China? As you already mentioned, that their relationship with China is actually not blossoming as much as it is with India. So can they actually afford? And is India not in a situation to bargain?
Well, when it comes to New Delhi, the Donald Trump administration will be taking a decision which will not be very brash, but it's Donald Trump administration. You never know what the U.S. president does or takes a decision. Last week only, he was so unpredictable when it comes to India. He started his week by saying good things about India from the United Nations General Assembly, and by the end of the week, he was bashing India, calling it a tariff king. So you never know, but sanctioning India on the basis of this deal will be a difficult decision by the U.S. administration.